Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Rifki Muti Santoso with metric number E00402, and I'm here gonna explain about KPG Healthcare Berhad, which is we are going more deeply analysis about KPG Healthcare Berhad with my groups. But before we going to the next part about the deeper analysis, I'm gonna explain you the background of KPG Healthcare Berhad. KPG Healthcare Berhad is founded in 1981 and have headquarters in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And KPG Healthcare Berhad focus on providing a wide range of healthcare services, including specialist hospital, diagnostic center, and senior living care. And then the next part gonna explain about the analysis about recognition criteria, initial measurement, useful life, depreciation, and method for those assets that.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Amal Izzati binti Nuzihan and my metric number is 068101. I will talk about the background of the company. KPG Healthcare Berhad is a leading private healthcare provider in Malaysia. Founded in 1981, the company operates a network of hospitals, healthcare facilities, and clinics across Malaysia and internationally. It is a subsidiary of the Johor Corporation, a government-linked company. KPG Healthcare is listed on the Bursa Malaysia Stock Exchange and is one of the largest private healthcare groups in the country. The company's primary focus is to provide quality healthcare services, including medical, surgical, and diagnostic care. It operates more than 20 hospitals and a range of specialized clinics. KPG Healthcare is recognized for its expertise in areas such as maternity, oncology, orthopedics, cardiology, and emergency care. The recognition criteria of the line is measured at fair value and initially measured at cost. It has infinite useful life and is not depreciated. It also subsequently shown at fair value less subsequent depreciation and impairment losses. Valuations are performed in every 5 years.
So the next analysis is about the buildings that owned by KPG Healthcare Berhad. For the financial statement, the recognition criteria of buildings is shown at fair value, and then the initial measurement is initially measured at its cost, and then the useful life recognized as a 50 years, and then depreciation using a straight line method, and then the method is subsequently shown at fair value less subsequent depreciation and impairment losses. The valuation are performed in every 5 years. And then the next analysis about the medical and other equipment. From the financial statement, the recognition criteria shown at historical cost, and the initial measurement initially measured at its cost, and the useful life, and then the useful life in 3 to 30 years, and then the depreciation using a straight line method, and then the method is stated at historical cost less accumulated depreciation and impairment losses. So the next analysis is about medical and other equipment that owned by KPG Healthcare Berhad. From the financial statement, it says that recognition criteria for medical and other equipment is shown at historical cost, and then the initial measurement they're using initially measured at its cost, and the useful life for the medical and other equipment is 3 to 13 years, because you know the medical and other equipment it's very risk and don't have useful life that long lasts. And then the depreciation from medical and other equipment using a straight line method, and then the method stated at historical cost less accumulated depreciation and impairment losses.
My name is Tiara Iziragmalia with student metric numbers E00403, and I will explain about furniture fittings and vehicles. So for furniture fittings and vehicles are subsequently shown at fair value less subsequent depreciation and impairment loss. Valuations are performed in every 5 years by external valuers to ensure that the fair value of a revalued asset doesn't differ materially from its carrying amount. The initial measurement of both will be calculated based on initially measured at its cost. For calculating depreciation, KPJ was using the straight line method to allocate the cost or the revalued amounts to the residual values over their estimated useful life that are for furniture, fittings, and vehicles are 10% to 20%. The useful life of this PPE is 5 to 10 years. Any cumulative depreciation at the date of revaluation is eliminated against the gross carrying amount of the asset, and the net amount is restated to the revalued amount of the asset. Both are stated at historical cost less accumulated depreciation and impairment loss.
My name is Nisla Zaratun Aulia with the matrix number of 00401. So we're going to be talking about the last assets that the company has here. So we're going to be talking about computers. So the recognition criteria of these assets is shown at historical cost. The initial measurement of these assets is initially measured at its cost. So the computers basically measured based on its acquisition cost. The useful life of these assets is 5 up to 10 years. So there are some computers that have a useful life up to 5 years, and there are also some computers that have a useful life up to 10 years or even between 5 up to 10 years. It's actually based on the computer specs. The depreciation method of these assets is straight line method, and the method of subsequent measurement of these assets is stated at historical cost less accumulated depreciation and impairment losses. The reason why the company used this method has been explained by my friend before. Okay, so now about the last question. Why the company's policy to subsequently measure its PPE at fair value ensures that the fair value of PPE does not materially differ from the carrying amount. So, the company calculates the fair value of all assets to determine any indication of impairment loss. The company continues to calculate the fair value of all its assets to determine whether the carrying amount of each asset differs from its fair value. If there is a difference between the carrying amount and the fair value, it indicates the possibility of an impairment loss or revaluation assets. So if the carrying amount is higher than the fair value, it indicates any impairment losses of the assets. But if the carrying amount is less than the fair value, then it may indicate any revaluations of the assets. Each of impairment loss of assets needs to be measured so that the company could report the actual cost of each assets they have. So basically, the reason why the company measures its PPE at fair value is because the company wants to determine any indication of impairment losses.
Okay, before finish this video, I'm gonna explain the reason why using the method, especially land and building and other assets. So this method is used to calculate the value of company's land and building because it reflects the current value of the assets. Additionally, since the useful life of land is indefinite and buildings tend to last a long time, up to 50 years for example, and then calculating using a fair value is considered more relevant and accountable. And then the valuation are performed in every 5 years by external valuers to ensure that the fair value of the revalued assets does not differ materially from its carrying amount. And then the historical cost method is used to calculate the value of the other assets except land and buildings, because the useful life of assets other than land and buildings tends to be shorter, for example medical equipment, furniture, and others. Therefore the use of historical cost method can still be considered relevant and accountable for valuing these assets. So dia akan menjadi relevant for the assets except land and buildings. So that's all the reasons, and this is maybe the last part of this video. Thank you and goodbye.